Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hendo Show. And today we are going to give you our thoughts on the press conference that we witnessed. And EDC had some things to say, but this was mostly in the hands of Bisciotti. Hendo, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I feel like for the first time in a very, very long time that we got an actual press conference that answered some questions. Normally under the John Harbaugh era, it was more of coach speak, the same things that we've heard year in and year out. And I think it was just a little bit refreshing that Steve Bisciotti came up there and answered the tough questions. He was a little nervous in the beginning. You could tell because he just kept tapping the microphone, tap, 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 tap. Yeah. His voice was a little bit dry, but as he got a little more comfortable, I think he settled down and answered the questions. It became a little bit easier to him. And to me, the irony of it all, and the one big takeaway that I had from this was the fact that we started the season with them interviewing John Harbaugh and asking, is this a Super Bowl or bust type season? He's like, y'all stupid. Like, why would you ask questions like that? That makes no sense whatsoever. But if you listen to Steve Bisciotti when he spoke and they said, hey, if Tyler Leap had made that kick, would he still be the head coach? And his answer was, for one more week. So it was in his mind and on his heart that this was the last season for John Harbaugh to be the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. I think that the AFC title game loss and then subsequently last season when we lost to the Bills in the divisional round, I think that weighed on him and he saw us regressing instead of progressing. So, I mean, I watched it. I never normally watch a full press conference, and that was an hour and 15 minutes. And I stayed the whole time because I wanted to hear what they had to say and what was actually going on.
Look, that was pretty tough to listen to because not just hearing from Bisciotti, but and sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. And at the end of that press conference, as Bisciotti was really just taking ownership and giving what we have asked for as fans, accountability for this team, for the losses, for the shortcomings. And he was really taking accountability for this offensive line who has regressed. He was really owning the decision, right, to fire John Harbaugh. What we did see was EDC, and his countenance was just incredibly somber. And you could tell this wasn't his decision. He was not a part of this decision in terms of, I'm sure he was able to weigh in his thoughts, but ultimately, like Bisciotti said, the power is mine. I think one question was asked about like Lamar Jackson, kind of what role does he play? And he's like, I listen to him and he can certainly weigh in, but I have the power. But we saw EDC head down, looked to be or appeared to be fighting back tears, just overcome with emotion, right? This is his best friend. And now he's no longer the head coach. So, a couple of important takeaways I thought, or that I left this press conference with. Number one, I don't like to give 100% credence to what someone says. I watch what a person does. I watch their actions. I don't just listen to what you tell me and then get all excited and listen, he told me this. Well, so what? What did his actions show? So it remains to be seen kind of how we tackle, number one, hiring of the head coach. Number two, this offseason. It's critical. But a main takeaway that I came away with was we're getting some accountability, and that's important. But if we allow Bisciotti to kind of come in there and do what you're supposed to do as an owner, take charge of it, recognize what's working, dismiss what's not, I'm hopeful for the future for the Ravens. And want to send a shout out to everyone who's joining us in the chat. How y'all doing today?
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, well. We have our first super chat of the afternoon. It's coming from our guy, Rakib. Thank you, Rakib, for the $5 donation. We appreciate the support. Rakib writes, don't mean to break up your pity party. Let's go Ravens. We are so back. You're right, Rakib. We are so back. And it's going to be, we got a new sheriff in town. So it's not going to be business as usual for the Ravens anymore.
Listen, Rakib. This ain't no pity party. This is a celebration. I think that, in my personal opinion, that there is a renewed energy within the Ravens flock. content creators, just anybody that follows this team, because, you know, we lost the playoff game. And of course it was, here we go again, like falling short. But we thought that this may be the same offseason that we've had over the last 7 seasons. Nothing much was going to really change. Maybe a coordinator here. The philosophy was going to remain the same. And we were just going to go through the rigmarole of having the same old Groundhog's Day. But with them firing John Harbaugh, and I don't want anyone to lose their job. But just with that, it just gives you a renewed sense of energy, knowing that this team has a different direction. We don't know if it's going to be good, if it's going to be bad, but we know that something is going to change. And Steve Bisciotti, for us, and a lot of us out there, we're saying that, you know, he is an absentee owner. Like, he doesn't care about winning. Like, none of this matters. And I think this press conference today illustrated that he is very passionate about what's going on with this organization. But he said it. He said, listen, I, as an owner, try to step back and let my guys do their job, except for in this situation, because Eric DeCosta is a little bit too close to John Harbaugh. They're best friends, and I didn't want to put him in the position to fire John Harbaugh. He also killed the narrative of why he fired him over the phone. He was like, I don't want to have this man drive all the way back up here just to send him back home. So there was a mutual respect there, and they're still friends. They still talk regularly about his head coaching opportunities and everything that's going on. So I think it shed more of a light that it wasn't we had this big argument, get out of my organization. I just think it was more of a mutual respect thing and not wanting to waste time. I think John Harbaugh may have known it was coming, because you could see throughout the latter months, that this season was weighing on him. Like, it was weighing him down. And Bisciotti just was like, you know, the timing may not be right, but I feel like it has to be now. What's the point of me bringing him back, him bringing in new offensive or defensive coordinators, getting them settled into Baltimore and firing them a year later? So it was already in his mind that he was moving on from John Harbaugh. And a lot of people out there, you know, they have their things to say. And for me personally, I don't understand why y'all get mad at us for giving our opinions, because you have your own opinion. So why do you get mad at us and come at us and say, well, where's your resume at for head coach? I don't see you out there applying for head coaching jobs, And that's cool. I just don't understand why a grown man could get so much into his feelings that he doesn't have conflict resolution to just say, all right, that's his opinion. I don't agree with you. Because guess what? The owner agreed with me. He has a resume. He has over 25 years owning a team. And guess what? He thought it was time to move on from John Harbaugh, and he did. So my resume doesn't matter. What I think doesn't matter. It's what the owner thought. And, you know, we were locked hip step. Like, we was together on this, but he did say that the fan perspective, the lack of people in the stadium didn't play a role in it. He said he heard the noise and some things bothered him, because he don't think that this season as a whole, the failure should all be put on John Harbaugh. And it shouldn't. It's not all his fault because the players didn't play. But what I can say is, and one thing I think he alluded to, was the fact that he actually said out his mouth, coaches didn't coach. Like, we supposedly had this roster that was supposed to go out here and be contending for an NFL title, and we fell short. EDC, they asked him about the draft, and I think this might have been my favorite part. They asked EDC about the draft and him drafting players, and he turned beet red and just was like, the pass rush, I could have did better on that. We thought that the offensive line, they played well at times, but then sometimes they didn't. And Bisciotti just was like, no, this offensive line did not play well at all. Like, we expected guys to be what they were, and they were not. And he said out of his mouth, part of the reason Joe Harbaugh is gone is because EDC did not do his job. Like, EDC, you look very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like he normally does when he's up there with John Harbaugh and he's in control. Like, EDC Steve kind of alluded to the fact that you're performing for your job. Like, going forward, like, you have not put together a roster that is Super Bowl worthy. Like, and just the look on his face and just the chat going back and forth about EDC's the greatest and all this other stuff. It was an eye-opening experience for me, to say that.
Yeah, definitely. Eye-opener for sure, because I really didn't have any expectation going in to hear what Bisciotti had to say. Like you said, he's not really been in this position many times where he's had to come and face the media to answer the tough questions about a firing, so this was kind of uncharted territory. Hey, Lindsay, this was kind of uncharted territory for him, or unfamiliar, and so to speak. And I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't going to get my hopes up that, like, okay, he's finally going to address the elephant in the room, or is he going to kind of give lawyer speak? Is he going to just give you kind of what you want to hear and sell you a pipe dream and like, yes, this is it. We're coming back and we're going to be better than ever. And I didn't want to, I didn't know. But once I started to hear him, and like Hendo said at first, it was a little bit blotchy. And I said, oh, here we go. But no, he took accountability. And Eric, he even said at one point, he said, if I had fired Eric DeCosta,
yeah, right.
and kept John Harbaugh. And I said, at the time I was multitasking, I was doing something else. So I really wasn't watching. I was listening. And when he said that, I just immediately tried to turn my head to look at EDC's reaction. But obviously EDC wasn't on the camera at that moment. But yeah, it was an uncomfortable interview, I'm sure, for EDC. Number one, he's without his best friend who I think has been holding this team back. And EDC has been a part of it. Like, how have you drafted?
Right.
Like, how, put it in the chat. Out of all of the years that we've had EDC as our general manager, out of all the drafts, A, B, C, D, or F, what do you grade him in terms of drafting? We have another super chat, this time coming from Trey. Trey, thank you for the $2 donation. We appreciate you. Right. We're both out a good season. Not used to this. We're not used to it. This is not something that we want to embrace permanently to say this is our identity. Absolutely not. No. Let's get back to who we are and then be better than what we were. And
Kirby?
Now, hey Kirby, that's my guy. Go over and subscribe to the Black and Gold Standard podcast. Kirby is doing great things over there, and Kirby has a lot going on in his channel right now because yes, the Steelers parted ways with.
No, he stepped down. They ain't part ways. He stepped down.
Parted ways. He stepped down. Look, I think what happened is they said, "Look, you got to go, or you can resign," and he stepped down. But I don't know that to be a fact. But yes, they're no longer. With Mike Tomlin as their head coach for the Steelers. So make sure you subscribe over there. Look, we got to know what our enemy is doing. We can't let them get an advantage on us.
Yeah. But he wants to know, he was like, what's the deal? Was Lamar behind the firing or was this the owner's call? Steve Bisciotti made it quite clear that this was his call. Like, it was on him. He said he didn't want to get any of the feedback from his people to try to change his mind. And that's when you're adamant about something. Like, you have a brain trust that you go to, you converse with. And he said, nah, I didn't want to hear it. I don't want none of that stuff. So it was all on him. So the reports about Lamar being the one behind the firing and everything. And he also said that this is a marriage between him and Lamar. Like, Lamar will have input when it comes to the head coach and certain decisions, but he has zero power. Like, he doesn't empower his players. He's the final decision maker. And that thing answered one question for me, because this was a different kind of year, because this is the first time that Eric DeCosta is the general manager and there is a head coach search. So the question was, will Eric DeCosta be the one to be able to pick the coach? Will he have full autonomy over him to make decisions? And Steve killed that narrative. He said, hey, it didn't happen with Ozzie. It ain't happening with Eric. What will happen is they will be equals and they both will report to me. I never really thought about anything like this, but guess what? I am the final decision maker. Regardless of what happens, it's all on me. So
yeah,
that man let you know whatever happens with this team going forward, it is all on Steve Bisciotti.
It is.
Like, period.
And I think because he put his name out there on the line, like, hey, this is going to be on me. Right. He's going to come out from hiding, come out from the shadows, and hopefully be a presence this year, because the way we've been managing our team from top to bottom needs change. Like, we can't keep having all of these draft picks year after year. And a question was asked about that. EDC, would you be willing to trade up in the draft to go get your top-notch edge rusher, your top guy?
That was one.
That was a question. And I'm sitting here waiting for him to answer, like, okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, he all over that thing.
He was non-committal. It's always my goal, to make sure that we get the best player available and blah, he gives you all of that. The answer should have been, yes, I would. If there's a player out there, I'm absolutely committed to trading up to get that player. That's what I was hoping for. He didn't say it. He didn't say it. So
you might want to listen again. He said that O-line did not perform up to expectations. That's what he said. You might want to go listen again.
He sure did. Rakib, didn't Owe get 2 more sacks? See what happens when you are a premier pass rusher. I've been telling y'all my guy was premier. And well, why he didn't get no sacks with the Ravens? Because that's the Ravens mentality. That's it. Hey, we got another one in here. Go subscribe to 86 Ghosts. And I see my first comment came from Jay the Six. We got so many great YouTubers in here. Make sure you go subscribe to Jay the Six. We also have 86 Ghosts in the building. Make sure you go subscribe to their channels, their YouTube channels. Now, Hendo, what were you frowning about?
He gave her DeCosta a D-. I mean,
world class, and that was terrible. Like, I mean, going back to the point, hey, Black Ice, going back to that, EDC overall has not done a great job in drafting. This right here, I don't think he's going to have the chance to mess it up as much as he's done in the past, hopefully, because Bisciotti, like Hendo said, put the onus on him. Moving forward, you're going to see a lot more of me. You're going to hear a lot more from me. Maybe not in the form of press conferencing, so to speak, but
this man's
I fully expect there to be something better than C-, D-, F kind of grades for what EDC is going to do in this upcoming draft. Hey, Slicer.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done a better job, but we honestly don't know, especially with it coming out that John Harbaugh wants certain powers to go with his next coaching gig. How much power did he hold with this organization when it came to draft picks? We look at the Ben Clevelands, we look at the Ben Masons, certain guys like that, and we know that they were John Harbaugh picks. The David Ajabos, like the Michigan, the ties to his brother, the nepotism and all this. Without that in the building, I think EDC may be free and clear to mold this team into his image. I'm not sure. Maybe it was all EDC before. I don't know. But we get a chance for him to stand on his own 2 feet. And I think that Bisciotti was telling us, like, yeah, it's sink or swim. Like, we can't have this. We are a first-class organization. He said we're top 3 in wins over the last 5 years. But we have nothing. We literally have nothing to show for it. Yes, regular season, cool. He even put the onus on some of the players, saying that, the players, some of our best players didn't perform up to standards. They made mistakes they didn't make during the regular season. And I think he's holding everybody accountable because in his mind, over the next 10 years, he wants to win a couple Super Bowls and retire. He wants to move on from this team, get rid of that family drama that some of these legacies hold when unfortunately the owners die and it's passed down to their kids and they start fighting. He doesn't want that drama with his family. So he wants to go out a winner, sell the team and move on. So the only way you can do that is to go forward. And he said, I'm tired of being complacent and losing the same way, the same things happening. It was just time to make a change. The missed kick was not necessarily a factor, but it gave him an opportunity and a chance to move on and go in a different direction. And I'm telling you, I could not be more excited. I don't care where they go. They asked him about if he would look into the college ranks. I don't think from his answer, the college ranks is where it's at. I think he wants an experienced head coach, but he did kind of give us a little bit of a nugget. He said, listen, a few years back, there were some offensive and defensive coordinators that were the hottest thing smoking. They went to some bad situations, and unfortunately, they did not win. So I'm not going to hold it against them. If they have a losing record currently in the NFL, I'm not going to hold it against them because I'm going to give our guy 4, 5, 6 years to kind of turn things around and maybe win a Super Bowl. So that gives life to the Brian Flores. That's where a lot of people in the chat thought that he was going. That also gives life to Kevin Stefanski, Matt Nagy, most of these coaches that had head coach. I'm just saying. Most of these coaches that had head coaching jobs, pretty much all of them had losing records. Even the guys that won Steve Spagnuolo. Terrible losing record. Like it's some guys, and I do understand they went to a situation that may not have had a quarterback, stable ownership, and they lost. Brian Flores is 1 game under 500. So that kind of, I think, gives us a little bit of light into his mode of thinking. And one thing that really stood out to me, and it may be lost on a lot of fans, is the fact that he said, I know a lot of people want to get somebody to accentuate the talents of Lamar so we can go out there and get an offensive head coach. But he's going to hire an offensive coordinator. Now you get into the conundrum of, is the head coach calling the plays or is the offensive coordinator calling plays? So we don't necessarily have to go with an offensive head coach because we can get a defensive guy. And if he brings in the right offensive coordinator, then we're set. So he like I said, he gave us a lot to think about when it came to this press conference. I'm not used to this. I'm used to, I love our guys. We love each other. We're going to hang out after the season. We're going to give it our best. We played our hardest. But guess what? Next season, 1 game at a time.
Oh, goodness. Good to see you, Dantana. That's my guy over there. Bear down. Okay,
Bruh.
get it done this year.
Bruh.
Get it done this year.
I can't lie. Y'all did y'all thing.
You got to give him props. You gave him a whole lot of flack all season long. So there you go. Bear down the season. Get it done. Just do whatever it takes to beat the Bills. If you end up in the Super Bowl, if you end up, if you end up in the Super Bowl, because wait, the only team that I think can stop Josh Allen right now is the Texans. That defense.
Did you see the offense? Listen,
I said that can stop Josh Allen. I didn't
listen,
say that can match or put up points. I didn't. That's not what you got to listen to what I said. I didn't say any team that can beat the Bills. I said any team that can slow down Josh Allen.
Okay.
You're right. They can't put up points. Their defense scored 14 points for them. They had
CJ Stroud had 5 fumbles.
5 fumbles. The defense scores 2, gets 2 turnovers. Anyway,
that's conversation for another day, though.
Another day. Just somebody beat the Bills for me.
Two pick sixes. I mean, 2 turnovers, touchdowns, and we can only get Lamar 2 turnovers and 8. Never mind. Let's go.
Yeah, we're not going to go back into the past that far. We have a super chat coming from Top One Chris. Thank you for the $5 donation. We appreciate the support. He writes, I respect Steve Moore. He kept 100%. It real, was blunt. He's not playing no more.
100%.
I was pleasantly surprised to see and hear what I saw and heard today. But I think for me, I'm a little more apprehensive. I need to see what we do with the following players. And this is not an exhaustive list because you can leave it in the chat if there's somebody on your list too. I need to see what we do with Daniel Falele. I need to see what we do with Voorhees. I need to see what we do with Bateman, Patrick Ricard, Roquan Smith. I need to see what we do with, so there's several players that to me, what's our plan for them? Right. What are we doing with Marlon Humphrey? That's another one. That's going to tell me the seriousness and the level of intensity that this front office is kind of holding for this Ravens team.
I mean, there shouldn't be a question for the ones that aren't under contract. Like, it should be a foregone conclusion that they're going with John Harbaugh, because I love my guys. I love my guys. I love my coordinator. So Zach Orr, maybe Todd Monken, your guys, Hard R Ricard, all of them should be going with John Harbaugh. And this will be indicative of how much he really meant what he was actually speaking about. If you don't take Zachary Orr with you to wherever destination you go, you really didn't believe in him. If you have an opportunity to give a tone setter in Hard R Ricard to help your offensive line, was that really your guy? If you really love Daniel Falele, he should be your starting right tackle. I mean, your starting right guard next season at whatever destination you go to. I'm just saying, if you love your guys and you really hold them down like that, they need to go with you. So we don't even have to tender contracts to them. Trade for Roquan, trade for Marlowe. It's a bunch of guys you can take with you, to be honest. Take Voorhees with you too.
Well, quit calling the man Hard R Ricard, okay? Just stop that. Just quit it. And I mentioned several players that were on my list. I want to know what our plan is for them. And again, I said it's not exhaustive. There are others, but I need to see what we do, whether this is a contract year for them. If it's not, bench them. That's what I need to see. What are we doing? If it's not a contract year, but the player still has another year or 2 on his contract, but they're not performing, what's our plan? Do we put them as starters again? Do we restructure some contracts and say, listen, your contract is now going to be restructured based on your level of performance the last year or 2? Right. So those are the types of decisions that I'm looking for before I say, yes, we're all in, we're making moves, we're in the right direction. I need to see. And I see someone out here saying, I think it was Dantana, hope you don't get Stefanski. No to Stefanski, no to Nagy. There's just a few. N-O. Hey, Praveen. Mike Tomlin, new Ravens head coach. No.
No. And Bisciotti even joked. He was like, yeah, if John goes and coaches the Steelers, yeah, we'll bring Mike Tomlin in and renew that rivalry. The two longest tenured head coaches in the NFL are gone in the same offseason.
Right. Within a week. It's not even been a week.
A week to the day.
Oh, yeah, today is Tuesday. Yeah, 1 week.
Yeah,
1 week.
I love Mike Tomlin. I respect him. Just for me, the quality of coaching candidates that are out there right now. If it were certain other years, I'd be like, maybe so. He may be the best qualified. But as of right now, it's just too many toys out there. It's just for the Ravens, it's just so many guys. Like I look over here and I'm like, I'll take him. Oh, no, I'll take him too. Like it's just so many opportunities. And one thing that I've always faulted Mike Tomlin with is he is terrible at picking offensive coordinators. Horrible. We don't need it over here. Well, I'll take his enthusiasm. I'll take the way that he interacts with his players. But as far as picking an offensive coordinator for Lamar Jackson, I will pass.
Rakib, why do you have to do it every single time? No, that's a strong no on Cliff Kingsbury. Stop it. When you feel yourself going there, I have to tell people this sometimes when I'm talking to clients, like, you can't have outbursts if you're in court. If you feel yourself going there, like, oh, you just got something to say, just stop yourself. And I see you. Shout out to you, Kimberly, my bestie.
Hey.
I appreciate you for being here. We do have another super chat donation. Wow. Drazon with the $20 donation, the DKK $20 donation. We appreciate the support. He writes, get Brian Flores head coach and Clint as OC. Now, I'll say really quickly that I've heard, and this is just speculation, that Lamar wants Clint Kubiak. That's who he wants. Is that true? I don't know. But if that's true, I wouldn't mind Clint as our head coach. Hendo?
I mean, bring him in as offensive coordinator. You still get him.
Yeah.
And you get more access to him because he doesn't have to oversee the whole team. He can strictly just be with Lamar in the offense and mold them. I like Clint Kubiak, and I think that the possibilities are endless because listen, Gary Kubiak, transformative as a head coach and an offensive coordinator. There are some in the Seattle Seahawks sector that are like, you're going to be a little bit disappointed if you get him. Like he's great at offenses, but leading a team, he may be a little too timid, a little too quiet right now to lead a team. I personally would love Brian Flores as head coach. I actually recorded a video like Friday, just haven't put it out yet.
No comment.
Detailing why I think Brian Flores should be the most likely candidate. I mean, I don't know if his NFL lawsuit will hold any merit because he's only been requested for one interview so far. So I don't know if my thing is, if he is the best head coach for the Baltimore Ravens at this time, get him. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about what happened with the Miami Dolphins because there have been, especially if you grew up as a child of the 80s and the 90s and you watched football, there were the same 9 head coaches that got recycled each and every year. And their failings meant nothing. They would just get a new job, they get fired, they go from one, they go to another. So why is it with this man, he can't learn as a head coach? I didn't hear anybody say anything negative about him on that Minnesota Vikings team. Those players loved him. And like I said in the video, which I don't know if I'm put out now, this man over the last 2 seasons had the number 5 and number 7th ranked defenses in the NFL. And this past season with the number 7 defense, he had 0 Pro Bowl players. He had 0 All-Pros. Imagine what he could do with Kyle Hamilton. Imagine what he could do with Nate Wiggins. Imagine what he could do with Nnamdi Matt.
Nope. Stop there. Imagine what he can do with Roquan Smith. Hey there, I see a comment from Dan Tana. He said, oh, Henny, the Bears have 12 championships total, even though we were still in slavery back then. See? Now, don't get me started. Nope. We just gonna hold it. Remember when you...
So this what we doing, right? This is what we doing. We taking it back to championship days, right?
Oh boy.
We taking it back to championship days. I mean, if we gonna do that, then we might as well talk about Otto Graham and the Browns because they were truly dominant. But we're not doing that, Dan Tanner. We are in a Super Bowl era. Wait,
you don't get to talk too much. His team is vying for one right now, and where
are they really? Are they?
Really? They're further than we are. We've already landed in Cancun. We've unpacked our bags. We've been here a week.
Okay, all right. So you take the Green Bay team with John Harbaugh Jr. I mean, LaFlores. I'm sorry, my manners. With LaFlores as the head coach, right? Conservative football, play not to lose instead of playing to win. Then you take a defense without Micah Parsons. And the Bears, I take nothing away from the Bears. They did their thing. But are you telling me you take this Bears team and put them up against Mike McDonald and that Seahawk defense?
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
So listen, as long as you're alive in the playoffs, congratulations to you. But let's not get it twisted. Let's not talk about NFL championships. Baltimore has NFL championships. Greatest game ever played, Baltimore.
Okay. Remember, we talked about this. I know we don't talk so much right now. Let us get back on our feet. Let's land on our feet first. World class. He said, I was in Cancun week 1. After the Bills game, you were in Cancun? What? Couldn't you even say like after week 6 when we started 1-5? Yeah, he was saying you're slacking because you said that you recorded a video last Friday.
Bruh. I mean,
and
but
he's saying it was a fake report about Lamar wanting Clint Kubiak.
I'm slacking with the video.
Yeah, with the video.
Because the video like an hour long, and you don't realize it takes 3 or 4 hours to do a 30-minute video. Hour video, and I've been just looking at that video like, I mean, it's cool. It details, chronicles a lot of things, but do I really feel like doing all this?
So let me ask everyone in the chat, from watching the presser, listening to it, if you caught most of it, some of it, kind of where are you? Do you have hope for the future for the Ravens? Are you comfortable, confident, feeling like, okay, I think we're going to make some much needed changes? Or do you feel more like, let me wait and see, temper my expectations. Right. Let's see how we do this off season before I kind of give you my final verdict on the state of the Ravens. Big woke. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. And shout out to all of you who've joined us. Make sure you do us a favor. Click that like button. Click the subscribe button. Do all of that for us. We appreciate it. But Hendo, how are you feeling? Like overall?
I'm optimistic. Like when the season ended, you and a lot of people were down. Me, I was like, there's a chance that this is a season of change. 2026 is going to be the season that the Ravens go in a totally new direction. And just like the other Harbaugh, who knows when to fire coordinators when they're not doing their job, we finally did what had to be done. And this is not an indictment of John Harbaugh as a head coach, because everybody gets mad when they're like, how you going to move on for him? Tony Dungy was like, that's crazy. Rex Ryan's like, he's the greatest coach in the NFL. How, son? How? But the message became stale, whether he lost the locker room or not, whether players were consulted and the man and the owner decided to move on, things just weren't getting through. Like we said earlier, we had regressed. We went from a championship, AFC championship game to out of the playoffs with almost the same collection of talent, sans the defensive coordinator. So I know there were a lot of injuries. I know there was a lot that happened in this season, but if you just, like you said, take a look at week 1, we had a fully healthy team, and we squandered a 15-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game.
To the Bills.
It doesn't make a difference who it was, but to them, yes. After we had just talked all off season about this redemption arc, about getting revenge and doing and finishing unfinished business. I know specifically, most importantly, it was supposed to be Mark Andrews' revenge tour, and guess what? But he did get some money though.
He did. Someone left a comment earlier. It would be crazy to let Isaiah Likely walk, knowing that we just extended Mark Andrews. I saw it early in the chat and I meant to get to it. But
see that, and that's a delicate subject, because some of the fan base is like, yeah, we need Likely. He's explosive. He performs in the playoffs. But then there's another sector that's like, that dude has never had 500 yards receiving in a season. But if you give him a full 17-game slate where he is the focal point, the starting tight end, things may be different. It's going to be a little bit harder now with the fact that we just re-signed Mark Andrews to that 3-year extension, which is essentially a 1-year deal. It's essentially a 1-year deal, but still, that's $13 million for the cap next season. We have a lot of players that we need to re-sign. We're currently about $36 million under the cap, but you have to put some of that money aside for free agents, the practice squad call-ups, rainy day fund. Like, you have to put some of that money aside. Now, one surprising thing that did come out of this, because a lot of people have been saying Lamar has this team under a chokehold because he needs to restructure his deal. He needs to extend and free up some money. Steve Bisciotti said, no. Mm-hmm. All we got to do is throw a couple void years on there. We don't want to do it, but if we have to throw the void years on there, that will lessen his cap hit to what his cap hit currently is right now, but it's going to screw the team later on, because a lot of these, like even the Tylan Wallace and the DeAndre Hopkins void years for this season, if we don't re-sign them, that's going to eat up a little bit of that cap money that we have. So re-signing Likely, it's not a top priority, unless we can trade Mark Andrews, to me, unless we can find somebody to trade him
W-
to. I mean, listen,
That's not going to happen.
the Baltimore Chargers love Ravens. The New York, the New York Jet, the New York Jet Ravens love Baltimore Ravens. So if we can go out here and get him gone, we can do something with Isaiah Likely. I just think they need to put the best product on the field, especially for a new head coach, because this new head coach is going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders, because if he does not perform well, that sector is going to come back and tell us, see, I told you we shouldn't have got rid of Harbaugh. This was a mistake. We're going to be the new Cleveland Browns now.
But think about this last season, and everybody in the chat, let me know this answer too, Hendo, but think about this last season.
Mm-hmm.
He was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He being Isaiah Likely. He was healthy.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part. You know, at this point, everybody's dealing with a little bit of nagging something. He was mostly available.
I mean,
all right.
He missed the first 4 games coming back from a broken foot.
I understand. That's why I said he was.
That's not mostly healthy. You still have to get your win back. You have to get in game shape. You have to take contact.
Let me finish with this. For the games in which he played, all right, he was available. Mm-hmm. When you talk about, putting the best product on the field,
mm-hmm.
this past year was Isaiah Likely the best tight end product that we have?
Heck no. He crapped the bed. He crapped the bed in many games.
Exactly. I'm not saying, and hear me out, I am not saying that Mark Andrews is the best product tight end wise that's available out there. I'm just asking you statistics, facts for the times that he was here. Right. He missed, I thought he missed 3 games. Hendo said he missed the first 4. Okay. He missed the first few games of the season. Got it. But when he did come back, if he was cleared to be healthy, how did Isaiah Likely perform games 4 through 18? Like, or Mark weeks 5 through 18, whatever.
Like Mark Andrews in the playoffs.
You know, Robert, hey there, that's a great point you made. Underutilized. I'm gonna get back to that point in a minute. Underutilized, and I'm hoping that changes. I hope the underutilization of our players, not just him, not just Likely. If we re-sign D-Hop, how much did we use D-Hop?
Not enough. Tez Walker, not enough.
Yeah, Tez Walker's another one. So I mean, don't even get started with the whole our running back here, Hall of Famer.
I mean, but sometimes you can be underutilized when you don't perform well.
Or you can be underutilized because you play for the Baltimore Ravens and they just kind of go away from what works. So
it could be two things can be true.
They both can be true at the same time. Tone the Virgo, thank you for the $5 super chat donation. We appreciate the support. He writes, going to be a lot of new faces in the AFC North outside of the Bengals. Zach Taylor is safe for now. I thought about that before the show. I was like, wait a minute. Now with Tomlin, like 3 out of the 4.
Yep.
Gone. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how the AFC North shakes out. And someone said, Craig Crowner, I disagree. What do you disagree with? Let us know what you disagree with. And coming back to Robert.
He can. I don't care.
No, I don't want him to sign with the Chiefs.
Only because.
No.
Patrick Mahomes next season is a wash. Like that next season done.
You don't know. Wait, but you don't know that. He might be not as good, but listen, a 70%, even 65% Patrick Mahomes. I'm not talking about with Pat Mahomes and Kelsey. Who knows what he's going to do? I'm not talking about
They're not going to risk bringing him back until after midseason. At least.
Yeah, I could see. Okay, midseason. Okay,
but who's going to quarterback them till then?
Whoever they draft, whoever they figure out on a trade package, whoever. Listen, I can't answer that. I don't follow the Chiefs like that, but I don't feel like they're going to sit idly by and say, oh, well, it's just going to be a down season for us. We're not going to try and do anything since we're not going to have our QB back until like October or November. No. And
that's 100% facts.
Yeah.
That's
Likely is signing with the Bills. Will you stop it, Rocky? He don't even like New York. He don't even like y'all. Season. I don't know.
What's up, Cole? And this is one thing. This is one thing that I'm not with this. Clearly Marlowe's lost a step. He as a safety for me is a no-go. We have 2 first-round safeties in the building right now. I'm sure they're going to make a qualifying offer to our Darius or Alohi, but we don't need somebody with his $26 million cap hit next season, even though they would have to restructure him. I don't need that in the building, because one thing that I need a safety to do is be able to tackle. He's lost his ability to tackle altogether. So that's a no. Just leave the building. Just go somewhere else, start off fresh. Maybe get your podcasting career going right now while you're young. Like, do those things.
No, I mean, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about Marlon. I'm on the fence. I'm not ready to just say it's time for him to go, but I certainly know, I recognize he hasn't been a playmaker. He hasn't made plays, but remember, a few years ago, Marlon had a down season and he bounced back that following year. I think that was in 2024, 3. Yeah, it was either 23 or 24. And it was like, oh man, Marlon can't do nothing right. He bounced back. So I don't know, but I don't know the answer to that. Not sure. Hey, Louisville Cardinals Raven. Yeah, Isaiah likely has ended the season with an amazing catch. Yeah, but it's going to take a lot more than one amazing catch. You know, playmakers make plays in big moments.
And that was a big
repeatedly. But I understand it was a big moment. You got to let me finish. Repeatedly. You got to be the player that we can count on. We know we can rely on you. Game on the line. Yeah, I know. Now I'm bringing up Tyler Luke. Don't even go there. Don't go there. Don't do it.
Yeah, somebody asked earlier were they going to keep Tyler Luke? Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, they're going to keep Tyler Luke.
They may bring in competition.
Yeah,
but you can't. That is a terrible position to be put in. You are a rookie kicker, and your first game-winning kick is a chance to save your season.
Your entire season. I don't know. Yeah. Someone asked earlier, Hendo, and I'm going to add my name into that. Yolanda, who are you rooting for in the postseason? For me, AFC, anybody who can beat the Bills. NFC, I like the Bears, but I'm loyal to the Seahawks, except if they play our Ravens. But look, we in Cancun, we got to worry about that. But for me, it'd be Seahawks.
That's a tough one. I mean, not liking too many of these teams. Okay, you know what? I'll say the Rams, because I respect what Les Snead has done. Les Snead has built a contender. Despite what Ravens fans said, this ain't Monopoly. This ain't Madden. You can't just throw money around. Yeah, they can. And still have money, and still have draft picks, and still be in contention for Super Bowls. While we have this draft everybody philosophy, where we at? So I'm going to go with the Rams, so Matt Stafford can finally retire. Devontae Adams can get a Super Bowl. You know, it's a couple Florida State Seminoles on that defense. So anyway, I'm gonna go with the Rams, and then the AFC, Patriots already got enough Super Bowls. The Broncos, I used to love them with John Elway. The Texans, I'm gonna go with the Texans by default. I'm just gonna go with the Texans. I like CJ Stroud. I like the kid. I like the Dale Hunter. I like D'Amico Ryan. So I'm gonna go with the Texans. The Texans versus the Rams in the Super Bowl. That's what I would like to see.
Texans versus the Rams. I don't know. Let us know in the chat. Can the Texans, knowing that they can't put up any points, can they beat Denver Broncos? Can they beat the Broncos? Knowing that it's going to be your defense is going to have to win you this game by adding points, putting up points on the board. Can the Texans beat the Broncos? Yeah, leave it in the chat. Leave it in the chat.
They can, because Bo Nix is not a very experienced playoff quarterback. But just as good as the Texas defense is, Denver got a defense of their own. Denver has a defense of their own, and they have a head coach that's won a Super Bowl. So,
but did you see how those Texans were hitting last night?
And did you see how CJ Stroud was? You see how CJ Stroud was trying to give them the game?
Look, I never said that CJ Stroud was it or this, yeah. But yeah, but did you see that defense? As a Ravens fan, were you not watching that game saying this is what our defense was supposed to be? On paper, this is what we were supposed to have been.
Oh, Robert. I mean,
I know I was. I said, wow. Hey, Matthew, Seahawks versus Texans. I just don't know if the Texans have it. I know they have it on defense. They do. They showed you last night.
They miss Joe Mixon. The Texans miss Joe Mixon. My man, I love Nick Chubb, but he clearly is past his prime. and just offensively, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Now, it is refreshing as a Ravens fan to see your quarterback not have to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you still win a game. And you win a game convincingly with your quarterback fumbling 5 times and throwing an interception. You know what I'm saying? If Lamar blinks at the ball wrong, we lost, but the defense gave up 49 points. Lamar. So it's refreshing to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would take a lot for the Texans to make it to the Super Bowl because we forget about the Patriots. Drake May is in the running. Drake May is in the running for MVP. Mike Vrabel was a Patriot. He's won Super Bowls. He knows what it takes. The turnaround for that team is amazing. They got a dog and Stephon Diggs. Like they have guys that have been there and done it before. So the rest of the playoffs is going to be interesting. Even though the Ravens aren't necessarily playing, it's still interesting because this season out of Indy, and I think this is what makes things more frustrating for Ravens fans, is it's wide open. Any given Sunday, any team can win. And I thought that if we could have snuck into the playoffs, there was a possibility that we could do like we did in 2012, transform this offensive line, do things a little bit differently and make a run because none of these teams are unbeatable. So it's just going to be good. It's going to be good to watch.
Yeah, I see you. Hey there, retired Gunny, and salute to you, Nigerian Nightmare. And Monty, who's going to Dallas? Who's going to Dallas, Amani? I don't want him to go. Whoever it is. Well, let me not say that because if you're talking about, one of our guards, they can certainly go wherever. Who cares?
The Texans put up 44 points. The most points they scored. The most points they scored all season long.
But that's because they were playing the Ravens, right?
I'm gonna put a lot of this on the Ravens defense, but we did have Cooper rushing at quarterback, and that played a factor because he could not get anything going, anything. So, but yeah, they put up 44 points.
Oh, okay. I see Zach Orr. Okay, all right.
Zach Orr going where? Oh
Dallas.
yeah. Listen,
Dallas.
Listen. What's up, C-Mac? Listen.
Hey, C-Mac.
Listen. Jerry Jones, I give him. He is a master at marketing. He is a master at bringing attention to his team and keeping them relevant. There is no way that he's going to hire Zach Orr as his coordinator. But he knows that if he interviews him for this position, it's going to bring eyes on the team. And people are like, why are you looking at him for? Look what he did with all that talent over there. Y'all don't have talent. What do you think is going to happen? Like he's doing this just to get eyeballs on his team. And it's smart marketing. But if he does do it, it lets me know he needs to be put down and Steven needs to take over that team. And yes, they do miss Tank Dell. Yeah,
they do. Tank Dell.
Yeah,
rest up.
And joking out the whole season.
Yep.
It's a great question. If Seahawks win the Super Bowl, how stupid will the Ravens organization be? I mean, I can't say for me, Yolanda, you may say differently. I can't say that it will say how stupid this organization is because you have to look at it like this. The Ravens just came off an AFC Championship game appearance. And for some, it would be more egregious if they'd have fired him right after that and made a rookie head coach the coach of a team that was one game away from the Super Bowl. And a lot of people say, well, we could have done like we did with Eric DeCosta, paid him head coaching money and told him he would be head coach in waiting. That's risky proposition. Like when you get an opportunity to be a head coach, and for some of these coordinators, some of these college guys, those opportunities are few and far between. So when you get that chance, you have to jump at it, even if it's the New York Jets, even if it's the Commies. Like you can't say I'm gonna be selective and be picky and wait for the next team because you don't know if that turn is ever going to come around again. So people are going to joke them, but there's no way that they would have foresaw that Mike Macdonald was going to be that guy. We knew he was going to transform Seattle's defense. Nobody knew that he was going to take that fraud, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold, and have the number 1 seed in the NFC this season and possibly take him to a Super Bowl. If he wins a Super Bowl, great for him. That is a great story. But for us, we wouldn't look stupid because it was just too many factors that would have gone into it, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about this.
I disagree. I think it will look really, really stupid. How is it that your head coach, who's been with you for 18 years, can't do what Mike Macdonald in a second year as a head coach can do with lesser talent? You have the superior knowledge, so to speak, in terms of coaching. You've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
You know what works. You know what doesn't.
Right.
You have superior talent on both sides of the ball. You have a 2-time, should have been 3-time league MVP at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been your starting quarterback for multiple years. You can make it to an AFC championship. Then the next year, you get bounced early in the postseason. Then the following year, you don't even make it to the postseason. But yet, in the last 2 years, Mike Macdonald has completely turned that organization around. I think we'd look very, very.
It's crazy.
Stupid.
Yeah. And the Lamar narrative was put to bed. I mean, it's always been that way. Like, quarterbacks have turned the ball over. And to just Alo's point, even Tom Brady during his Super Bowl runs, he turned the ball over quite a bit throughout the whole entire playoffs. There were games where he just downright didn't play well, and the defense carried him. And we're supposed to be a defensive team. That is what we've built the foundation of the Baltimore Ravens organization on, defense. But yet and still, Lamar Jackson has a turnover in the first half, and we're talking about that at the end of the game when he clearly brought us back. These teams can just have they can have quarterbacks that aren't even legendary, do mundane things. Defensively, they lift them up, but it's always talked about what Lamar didn't do. It's never talked about what these first-round picks didn't do. It's never talked about what this $100 million inside linebacker didn't do. Like, those things need to be brought to light. Now, does Lamar need to play better? Yes, he does. But one thing he did do, especially in this last playoff game, was capitalize off of learning from his mistakes, and in the whole second half, didn't make them again. You know who didn't learn? Mark Andrews. But we don't hear anybody talk about Mark Andrews. And when you bring it up this playoff game and you say Mark Andrews, they immediately go back to Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson didn't fumble on the way to taking the lead in the game. Lamar Jackson didn't drop the 2-point conversion. Oh, it could have been a better pass. It could have been. But Isaiah likely caught a much tougher pass from further away. So the excuses need to be gone. Hopefully with a culture change, hopefully bringing in the head coach that instills a little bit more discipline, a little bit more want to. Hopefully that changes things for us, because like they say, if you ain't coaching it, you're teaching it, or you're allowing it to happen.
Yeah. I was going to address a comment earlier.
Which one?
From Louisville Cardinals Ravens. The only talent advantage we have over Seahawks is Lamar and Henry. I disagree with you there. We're supposed to have better talent from Kyle Hamilton. We're supposed to have better talent in Roquan Smith. We're supposed to have better talent in Mark Andrews. We're supposed to have better. You see where I'm going with this? So when I say that we have the better roster on paper, we most certainly should have had the advantage.
Thanks.
When we look at the statistics and we look at the numbers and the outcome of games, I agree with you there. I agree. Lady Laura, Baltimore, I hope you're doing all right. I know that you were sad to see John Harbaugh go, and listen, we appreciate you. We do. I'm grateful for his contribution. I just thought his time was up. But listen, if you are in here hanging out with us, thank you. Thank you for Corey for subscribing. We appreciate you. Mark Andrews is trash. I'm not ready to say Mark Andrews is trash. Okay. I'm just not ready to say it. Is he deserving of the contract extension that he just received? No.
13 mil, and he couldn't get 500 yards. I'm just saying, he was a number one option. He dropped a lot of passes.
I know.
His blocking was suspect, and
that's why we have Pat Ricard.
And
I'm serious, because of blocking issues. We got a lot of problems there. We got a lot of problems. So, but let me ask this, because we're not going to be here much longer. We're going to go ahead and let you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday afternoon. In terms of coaches, if you had to rank them 1, 2, 3 out of all of the candidates that we have interviewed, and even now, if you want to include Tomlin, even though we haven't interviewed him, he just became available today on the market if he decides to coach again. 1, 2, 3, top choice, second, third for head coach for the Ravens to steer us in the right direction. Who would it be? I'll start with you, Hendo.
my coaching
Yeah,
selection.
top 3 would be number 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Of course, it's Brian Flores is my top. We need this one in the worst way. And he would get the best out of this defense. But all the talent that we have, my goodness. 2, Clint Kubiak. And the third one is up in the air. Like they've interviewed 16 or plan to interview 16 people when it's all said and done. Third one, I don't know. The third one's up in the air. No, I don't want any former Harbaugh disciples. If you've coached, and Jesse Minter may be the exception to the rule, but Anthony Weaver, I like Anthony Weaver, and he transformed that Miami defense when they were fully healthy. He transformed that Miami defense, but he is a John Harbaugh disciple. I don't want him. I don't want him. Robert Saleh may be an interesting selection.
Yeah.
But between Kubiak and Flores, for me, those two, I don't know. But I'd rather have Flores and get Mike McDaniel or Clint to be the offensive coordinator. You know, I'm telling if we can hire Brian Flores and he can convince Mike McDaniel to come here. And some people say it's kind of stupid to bring McDaniels in to be the offensive coordinator for 1 year. Who says it's going to be 1 year? Because the narrative has been spun on him that he lost his locker room. His players have come out to the media and said he's unserious. He lets players do whatever they want to do. The culture, he killed the culture in Miami. So just because if Lamar goes out there and has an amazing year, that doesn't mean he immediately jumps up to the top of the head coach's cycle. So it may be for more than a 1 year thing. Then you also have to look at the fact that the teams that may be looking for head coaches may not be a destination that he wants to go to. So it may be more than a 1 year thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just to say, why bring him in for 1 year and then have him go somewhere else? We don't know. We will never know. But for me, those two, and with the right defensive coordinator and Brian Flores guiding him, my goodness, we could have the Texans defense, and the Miami with Tyreek Hill offense. Like put them two together. That's an automatic Super Bowl.
Yeah, for me, for me, you name my 3: Flores 1, Kubiak 2, Saleh 3. Saleh, I think that's where I'm leaning. I see you. Justin Lewis is in here. He made a comment earlier. He said just a little while ago. He said the reason that the Ravens kept Mark Andrews is because he was the leader, all-time leading scorer, all-time. And I get that. I do. You know, all-time leading Ravens in receiving yards, and total touchdowns. I get that. But for me, what I'm looking for, Justin, is I want to know that the guys that we pay big bucks, big money to, that we can count on them when the moment is so great, it's so big, when we need it most. And Mark Andrews, while yes, you're right, he does lead the Ravens all time receiving yards. That's true. But I just can't forget the feeling of, all right, put the game in the hands of your playmaker. And where's Mark Andrews at that time?
And you know me, I'm not one to nitpick. You know, I'm not one to nitpick.
What?
But congratulations to Mark Andrews and everything that he has obtained as throughout his career as a Baltimore Raven. He is definitely a future Ring of Honor recipient. He'll go down as one of the greatest Ravens ever. But if we're being totally honest, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase eclipsed in their first 4 years what he's done in the career. So when your leading receiver in franchise history only has 5,777 yards, it's not too tough to overcome if you have a decent career.
Yeah.
But he did it, and he is our leader. Take nothing away from him. But like she said, when we needed him the most, for me, it was the years, it was 2018 through 2020, 2021. It was those years when he was Lamar's security blanket. He was supposed to be Lamar's best receiving option, his best friend. When things go wrong, you go to Mark Andrews, big things happen. So if you are the number one option in an offense, every time the playoffs roll around, I need you to do something. It's like that meme with the dude poking with the stick. Do something. So anything, do something.
Just do
Anything.
something.
And Mark Andrews looked at Lamar and said, I can fumble, I can drop a pass, I can do those things, but if you want me to get yards, I'm not going to be able to do it. You need me to get a touchdown, it's never going to happen. So yeah, I understand, and we all have fandom. There are players that we love James Prochet, and I will stick up for James Prochet until today. But I know deep down, I will tomorrow as well. But I know deep down in my heart that young man will never have a touchdown in the NFL. I know in my heart he never will. But I'm gonna still fight for him. You don't talk nothing about James Prochet. That's my guy. But I am steeped in reality enough to the fact to know he's not very good at wide receiver. Mark Andrews was an above average tight end. Ravens fans over evaluated him, talking about he top 3, not 3 or 2. He was never that. He was never the number 1 in the NFL. Yes, he had one all-pro season. And that season, the Ravens missed the playoffs. So that tells you a lot. We were just throwing the ball around because we weren't winners. Yeah. And you can never take that away from him. But as far as what he's contributed to the Ravens in the playoffs, I think for him, he needs to get as much smoke as Lamar's had. Because as one of the leaders, as one of the captains of this team, you are at fault as well. Forget what you did or what you did not do. You are one of the leaders, but his name is never mentioned when it comes to the playoff failures. But when we win, man, we couldn't have got here without Mark Andrews. Bull crap. Bull crap. You talk about 2 seasons ago, he had 11 touchdowns. Those 11 touchdowns would have went to somebody else. Lamar was smoking. He threw 40 plus touchdowns. Wow. He was smoking. So to say that if Mark Andrews wasn't here, Isaiah likely wouldn't have got them touchdowns. Bateman wouldn't have got more touchdowns. He had 9. They wouldn't have got more touchdowns. Like, I need my leaders to lead. And all of them across the board, offensively and defensively, on this team as players have fallen short. I just think Mark Andrews gets more rope than anybody else, so to speak.
Shout out to you. Thanks, Florence, for being here. I see you. I appreciate you. Free Wi-Fi. You brought up a really good point. Flores has a pending lawsuit. Yes, he does. Not sure how realistic of a hire he is. Okay, I'm gonna tell you my perspective as an attorney. You can have a pending lawsuit right now, and in 5 minutes, that lawsuit is no more. If the Ravens want Flores, if the Ravens are serious about Flores, yes, you're right. There is a pending lawsuit. That doesn't mean it will be tomorrow. There's a way. There's always a way to make that pending lawsuit disappear. So I wouldn't let that be the only reason or the main reason why Flores is not the most viable option. I wouldn't let that come in.
Yeah. And more importantly, it's not a lawsuit against the Ravens.
But I think and I'm going to read into your comment, Free Wi-Fi, not that it's against the Ravens, but it's about publicity. Because let's say, and I'm just, speaking on the other hand, let's say the Ravens do decide to go with Flores, and 6 months from now, 8 months from now, oh, he's got deposition that, mediation this, arbitration that, he's got to go for court this, he's got a hearing that. Do the Ravens want that publicity? That's what I'm getting, on the flip side. Like, okay, yeah, you can resolve the case today, and that's what I would be trying to do. Like, listen, how have his attorneys, have opposing counsel meet somewhere in the middle, figure out a resolution, if that's what they want to do. If you think that this is the guy to lead your team.
Yeah, and I mean, beforehand, it was, like I said, it's not against the Ravens. And we know that the owners are buddies and they get together. It's only against 3 teams, the Giants and 2 other teams. I can't remember which ones they are, but it's against 3 teams specifically. Of course, it's the Giants. But for me, after hearing this press conference today, I think Bisciotti is more inclined to say, you know what, I'm going to go with the best person I believe can lead this team. And he said, I'm going to listen to EDC. I'm going to listen to Sashi. And I'm going to listen to everybody around me. I'm going to listen to what Lamar has to say, and I'm going to give the final decision. So to him, in his mind, it doesn't matter to me. If he believes Brian Flores can give us the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl, I don't think that this lawsuit holds any merit with him. It doesn't hold any weight because Steve just showed you, I don't care what y'all do. I don't care. I'm about winning. I come out here and talk to y'all. I didn't want to talk to y'all before. I stopped talking to y'all because what was the point? What was the point of me coming out here regurgitating the stuff that the coaches already said? Yeah, we should have ran the ball more. Yeah, the players should have played better. Yeah, the coach should have coached better. Like, I think he is locked in this season, and he has a lot to prove. As an owner, he has to prove that he made the right decision in firing his friend. So you have to go out here, and I think we're past the point of hiring so-so people or people that we know or people we're comfortable with, familiars. I think he's going to get the guy who's best for the Ravens. And I think if Brian Flores to him is that best option, lawsuit be darned, he's going to go out there and get that guy.
Yeah. And Stretch, you said the court ruled in favor, saying the case can go to trial. Well, that's nice. It can go, but that doesn't mean it has to. You can certainly resolve outside of court, and the parties can get a deal, a resolution done sooner rather than later. It doesn't have to go to court. It just means that it does have the ability to go for a final hearing.
That's what I'm talking about, Stretch.
You know who else is winning? Flores.
He's about winning. Stephen Ross said, "I'll give you $100K." And people want to say, "Oh, this might not be a true story." No, it's a true story. He wanted him to tank for Tua, but in the interim, Stephen Ross tried to coerce Tom Brady to come be the quarterback for the Dolphins. Like, it was a lot of shady stuff going on.
Yeah.
And Brian Flores said, "No, I want a man of integrity to be my head coach. I'm turning down extra money to lose, even though I know this team is not good enough to win anyway." And they were going to lose anyway, but he wasn't going to do it intentionally. And he knows talent. He said, "Tua's not the guy. Tua's not who you think he is. Stop tanking for Tua. We should be wherever we at, go get Justin Herbert." Now, he and his playoff record, the conversation for another day. But clearly, Justin Herbert is the better option. And Flores is out there winning with Josh Rosen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jacoby Brissett, like Tua before Tyreek Hill. He was winning with those guys. So imagine what he can do with Lamar. In this defense. Imagine what this. Listen, I don't know how many, because one thing that we keep saying to Ravens fans, and it's not y'all in here, it's the other Ravens fans and them other channels. What we tell them is, we tell them go out there and watch football. Stop basing your life on everything that the Ravens do, because everything the Ravens do isn't right. Everything they do isn't wrong. But if you watch other teams, if you watch Brian Flores coach defenses, one thing that they do is create turnovers. The one thing that we sorely lack, especially in the playoffs. He
Getting
took
after the
a bunch
quarterback.
of no-name guys and had the 7th-ranked defense in the NFL. He confused the best quarterbacks in the game with guys that just came from Costco, from working in the aisles, stocking shelves.
Okay.
He did that. So, like I said, I'm gonna beat the table for Brian Flores. But if he isn't the best option, get the best option. Because the only thing, regardless of my opinion, the only thing that I want, it was 7th. The only thing that I want is for this team to win a Super Bowl by any means necessary. If my choice isn't the right choice, I ain't mad at it as long as we go ahead and get this title. That's all I want. Lamar to get a Super Bowl more than anything, to shut these people up and talk about what he can't do. Rakib, if you're still here, Josh Allen has not won a Super Bowl, but yet still he gets leniency. He gets praise. They don't sit there and say, you know what? He goes down in history as the only quarterback to lose to the same team 3 consecutive seasons. Like, you can't, is it 4 times? You can't beat Patrick Mahomes, but they never talk about that. They talk about his amazing playoff stats, how he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's a generational talent. I want to put to bed that Lamar Jackson isn't a one-of-a-kind, a generational talent that we may never see again. Because when he came to Baltimore, we thought, oh, man, this kid can run. But those of us that watched him in Louisville knew that this kid could pass. And he showed the NFL over and over again that he is quarterbacky enough to get it done. Now, I just need him to get that recognition that he deserves when it comes to history. And they look back in the 2020s to say Lamar Jackson stood out above the rest. That's all I want. I don't care about who leads this team. As long as it's not John Harbaugh, because he was doing the same things over and over again. But as long as it's not Harbaugh, whomever.
XVYZ. Yeah, I thought about that. He's like, Yolanda, you should make a channel title, Attorney Reacts to Sports. I thought about that, and that's time consuming. Very, very time consuming. And my job is pretty demanding. It's pretty time consuming. And then having this channel here, it's tough. And to incorporate another one, I don't know that I have the time. But yes, that is definitely something I've thought about. That would be really interesting to do. Quarterbacky. I haven't forgotten that. I have not forgotten quarterbacky. I think about her all the time and gets on my nerves.
Apparently, the world ain't thinking about her because they don't even.
Yeah, every time, that bothered me to no end. That one right there. Free Wi-Fi wants to know, who would you want to be Flores, OC, and DC?
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel for offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator?
He could bring in Anthony Weaver. Oh, no, Denard Wilson.
No.
Denard Wilson. I want him to bring in Denard Wilson.
You just said maybe in that context was for head coach. You just said, okay, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, no, but Denard Wilson. What and we listen. Yes, Mike McDonald, great defensive coordinator. He made this defense number one across the board in 2023. But the thing that I don't think that people look at is the loss of the coordinators, the loss of the Anthony Weaver, the loss of Denard Wilson. If we look once Denard Wilson left, if we look at how this secondary fell off, we could see his impact on the team. He went over there at the time and made that Texas defense number one in the league. So with him and Brian Flores molding him and that offense, and if Derrick Henry can give us 1 or 2 more years, and we trade Bateman and get a real wide receiver.
Okay.
Woo!
All right. See, this conversation just took a turn for the worse. Hey, Sea Iron Addict, thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean, okay, but and I know we're talking defense right now. I know that, but we also need to focus on who we bring on to coach this offensive line. I know the question was more so about, and we're talking in terms of who we're going to bring in for defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. I want to know about these position coaches. Who's going to be coaching this offensive line? Because it doesn't look like anybody was coaching in this list last year. Warhop, I already know that pretty much everybody's gone. So it's not a matter of Warhop needs to go. He's already gone.
And yeah, he went to the Titans, but their coach got fired. So we don't know what his status is going to be after this.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once the league year starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What kind of job did Warhop do?
Oh my gosh.
Right.
This man got up in front of the camera, was like, yeah, when it comes to Daniel Falele and Voorhees, I just see them improving. I don't see them making many mistakes. And once they do make mistakes, they just get better at it. When I saw the man say that,
I was done. I was done.
I was about to call somebody and be like, yo, flatten his tires.
Wow. Game too easy. Texas defense has more touchdowns than Mark Andrews. See why you have to say it. Why you have to say that? Oh, terrible.
Terrible.
No,
I mean, as the Raven, Hayden Hurst has more playoff touchdowns than Mark Andrews.
Ouch. Y'all.
He wasn't with this team but for a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah. Rainmaker, EDC, he should have been put on notice. If he had not been put on notice before, which I'm sure he has. But he should have been put on notice before. Like, look, we can't do the same thing status quo ante that we've been doing up to here, from here to 4. We can't, because it's not working. But when I heard this man, when he was asked specifically, and shout out to the person who asked the question, EDC, with all of your draft picks, are you willing to trade up to get the most, the best player available for what I think he was asking about pass rush? You see with all of our pass rush issues or whatever, are you willing to trade up to get the best player available? Rather than him come out and say, yes, I am. That would have signaled to me, look, okay, we're going to do something different this year in the draft. That's not his answer. So
that man sounded there like the water. Mama saying,
stop.
That's what he said.
Stop. He did not.
And listen. Think about this. And this is for all the John Harbaugh fans out there. And I ain't mad at you for wanting him to come back. Like, that's your preference. But think about this. Warhop, to many people's summation, is the worst offensive line coach in NFL history.
Well, I'm not gonna say that.
Zachary Orr, to many summation, is the worst defensive coordinator in NFL history. Who employed both of those people and was trying to run it back for a second year with them, or a third year with Orr? Who wanted to bring them back? 2 of the worst coaches, definitely in Ravens history.
Yeah.
Who sat there and looked at them and said, "Yeah, they're doing a good job. I'm gonna bring them back. We're gonna try this again, y'all." Who did that? Who brought them in here? Who kept them employed? This is why I say we needed to move on from John Harbaugh. He's lost his edge. His first 5 seasons, John Harbaugh was a totally different head coach. And he won a playoff game his first 5 years. But after that Super Bowl run, something in him changed. And ego took over. Hubris was a part of it, and we just weren't the same team. We lost our identity. We need a coach to come in here and bring us an identity. We love to say under Harbaugh, we're a running team, but we get to the playoffs and we forget how to run, or we just refuse to do it. Like, what is our identity? Defense? We don't have any defense. Teams come in here like the Texans, who look terrible against every other team in the NFL and puts up a season high 44 on us. Of all teams, the Texans scored 44. And every team has a career day. Aaron Rodgers' 2 best passing yardage days of this season came against the Ravens.
Yeah.
But yet and still, we're going to run it back.
Run it back.
Same darn thing over again.
All right. We're winding down. Final questions. If you have any questions for us, drop them in the chat right now. But I have a question for everyone in the chat. When I asked you earlier, give me your top 3 head coaching candidates. But my thing is, what is the one head coach candidate that's going to bench a player if he's underperforming? What is the top candidate? Because that's what I want to see in my next head coach. I want to see what John Harbaugh wouldn't do. Right. If a player is underperforming, they're not performing, hey, come over, sit down right here. That's what I want. Who is that guy?
I would say Flores. But I mean, just look at his brother. His brother just fired his close friend, Greg Roman. He fired his close friend with no issues. He looked at that playoff performance and he looked at the Baltimore Ravens of the past and was like, I ain't going to do that. I ain't about to do this, and let him go. Like, it's like it has to be hard with somebody that you've gone through the trenches with over decades to just the next day be like this. You no longer have a job. But I do think Brian Flores, from the way, and this is part of the problem that Fitzpatrick had with Brian Flores, is like, yeah, he's just too direct. He's just too matter of fact. Like, I want that guy, because here's the thing. With people like him and people like me, you will always know where we stand. Yeah. Always. It will never be do Hendo like me? You'll never have to ask yourself that question. Either I do or I don't. And I'll make it be known, because I never play those games. And I think Brian Flores is that type of coach that is like, yo, don't get it done this week. We're going in another direction. Hey, coach, get your guys right, or I will find somebody that will. That's what we need. I don't want guys that play friends. I don't want EDC and John Harbaugh, where the owner has to step in and fire somebody because you don't have the huevos to go out there and do it yourself. It's hard. Business is business. I'm trying to build a business right now. If I employ my mother, which I love to death tomorrow, she does not, I will fire my mother on the spot. And it won't be a phone call. I'll do it face to face so she knows that I'm serious. Business is business and family is family. You have to be able to separate the two. And that's what truly makes professionals. Yeah. So if you want to be a professional in this game, you have to make the hard choice. Eric DeCosta, you should have seen, listen, we're not getting it done with John Harbaugh. That doesn't mean that you don't think that he's not a good coach. It doesn't make you believe that he's not a good friend. But you have to do what's best for this team and what's best for your job. Because listening to Bisciotti and look at how beat red he was sitting there with his lips just like real. His lips was real tight. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna be next. Because like, if you listen to Bisciotti, like, I'm not playing with y'all no more. Listen, I'm the head of the snake, and what I say goes. And if you don't follow the script, you're gone. And I think if EDC doesn't have a better draft, because these have been lackluster drafts, I don't need 4 5th round, 4 6th round picks to come in here, because they're not going to make the team. They're not going to make this team any better if he doesn't transition and start doing things. Now, I know he said, oh, well, if you try to trade for that guy, you end up giving up draft capital and you can set your franchise back for years. That is 100% fact. But one thing that we can absorb is the fact that we have Lamar Jackson at quarterback. We have Kyle Hamilton to anchor at safety. Like, we have the pieces on both sides of the ball to get this team going forward, because you've had 2nd round picks that's flamed out. Let's not forget David Ajabo. You picked an injured guy you picked an injured guy that did not contribute to this team. Did it set this franchise back? Technically it did, because you never addressed the edge position, and we survived. We're going to be better next season. So that one draft pick didn't tank us. If we are the organization that we claim to be, if we're top 5 like everybody around the league says that we are, if we miss on somebody, it's going to be okay. But guess what? Outside of an injury, Micah Parsons wasn't a miss. Quentin Williams wasn't a miss.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So these guys, you add up into the equation of play like a Raven, this organization, this culture, and bring in a defensive coordinator that knows what the freak he's doing. How can we fail?
Yeah. Facts. Family, we appreciate you for coming by. Thanks for hanging out with us. This was a really good conversation. We have a lot to kind of anticipate over the next few weeks. Hey, Deanna.
What's Deanna? Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know,
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off. I mean, and to this point, I think one thing that, it kind of made me, almost shed a tear a little bit, because I was like, he gets it. He gets it. I think Bisciotti spoke about, when he spoke out the media and everything, he spoke about the national media and local media. Yeah, and he was like to the national media, everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is a great organization. We ain't got no problem. But he's like, the closer that you get to the organization, the more cracks that you see. Yeah. The more chaos that you see. And that's how some of us as fans see things. We're close to this team and we watch them. So we see some of the things that go wrong. It doesn't mean that we dislike this team. It doesn't mean that we dislike players. It just means that we see certain things. And if the owner himself says, it's not as great as you think it is, it's not all sunshine and rainbows at one winning drive, then there must be some merit to it. But when you hear from people like us, because we don't have the resume or we've never coached in the NFL, doesn't mean that we can't see things or just say things. These are our opinions. I am a man sitting in a chair inside of the Ravens front office. That's it. Just giving my opinion because I moved from the bar. Now they find John Harbaugh. I ain't got to be into the bar. I'm allowed in the facility now. But we're just giving our opinion. We're just giving our opinions on how we feel about this team. Doesn't mean that I want somebody's demise to come true. Doesn't mean I don't want this team to win. It's just I see things differently than other people do. And for grown men to get in their feelings and have to type it out, hey, Hendo, what have you done? What have I done? I've made a podcast and shared my opinions. What have you done? I'm sorry. I just said
that's okay. Rakib said Steve would fire Hendo in 5 minutes.
And I'm cool with it because you know what? I would have given him my all and I would have done the best that I could. And I would have tried to change with the times. And if it wasn't good enough and he fired me, I'm okay with not being the best. But at least I'm going to try. I'm going to try. And if I'm not doing my job, and if anybody's worked with me knows, I give it 150%. And if I'm not doing something right, I'm going to learn how to do it better. If I was given an opportunity with the Ravens, I would do everything that I could. Would I be successful? I don't know. I don't think I would, but I would try my best. And if I got fired, guess what? I would leave with my head held high, and I wouldn't be like, well, they didn't do this or they didn't give me this. No, I can only do what I can do. And the only thing that I can do right now is give my opinion. That's it. My opinion. Doesn't have to agree with it. Doesn't mean that I'm right. It's just my opinion from the way that I observe things, from the way that I was raised, from the things that I've seen, from the experiences that I've had, tells me how to perceive things. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. So all the name calling and all that stuff shows a lack of intelligence. And keep it up because guess what? You're still giving me views and you're still giving me engagement. So I thank you.
I was just going to say, hey there, Killer Cam. I see you. I see you, Just Tornado. Thanks for being here. And yes, C-Mac, Oweh got 2 sacks and a forced fumble in his last game. Can you believe it? Yes, I can. You know why? Because I've been saying all along that he is a difference maker. If nobody else showed up for that game, Odafe Oweh did. I move on.
Keep stepping Kevin's pass out. Yeah, I don't like the way he handles Shador. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear about Stefanski. That's a no. Matt Nagy, no.
No. It's a couple of them.
Yes, a couple no's. We talked about the ones we want. What are some coaches you don't want? Definitely.
Okay. Vance Joseph, no. Daniel Webb might be an intriguing one. I'm not for certain. Kevin Stefanski, no. Matt Nagy, no. Joe Brady and Rakib, you know this, no. Anthony Weaver, no. Cliff Kingsbury, heck no. Yeah. No. No Cliff.
Yeah.
Mike Minter, I would be
Mentor is a possible for all my Spades players. Mentor is a possible. He's a possible.
You play Spades?
Hey, Lady Ram, no BS, no favoritism, no nepotism. Exactly. Either you play well or you get benched. That's it. And before we go, yesterday, 2 days ago, was Hendo's birthday. And so make sure you give him a shout out, wish him a happy belated. We celebrate all month of January long. But Hendo, we appreciate you for all that you do for the Ravens community. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your content. And look, it's an exciting season ahead, especially this off season, because that's going to be very telling for me anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Happy
Thank you.
birthday to the
Thank
hen
you.
dog.
Appreciate
Happy
it.
birthday. That's it.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
And why I know Joe Brady? Like sometimes he gets away from the run too much. Like he relies too heavily sometimes on Josh Allen to make plays. We've seen that script before. I don't want to see that script again.
Oh yeah, Deanna, that's right. I forgot about Cliff Kingsbury. Nope.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
No.
Your son's
No,
birthday
no.
today? Well, listen, tell your son we said happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to your son, Rainmaker. I hope your son has a wonderful day and a great year for him ahead. Thank you.
But make sure, more than anything, you explain to your son that Capricorns are the best people.
And Flagship, no use a lie. In spades, I always have possibles. And I usually add up 2 of those possibles as 1. I've been playing spades a long time. I'm not going to tell you how long, but it's a long time. And I would sit you down because I'm just that good. Yes.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell y'all the truth real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe Yolanda plays spades.
I do. Oh my God. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. So when I was getting ready to start undergrad, I was going away to college, and my oldest brother, he's deceased now. He was a Cowboys fan. Anyway, he said, listen, you're about to go to college. You're about to go off, and I'm sad that you're leaving, but I have to teach you something that's very important as you get ready to go to FAMU. And I said, oh, great. What are you going to teach me? And he pulled out a deck of cards. He's like, you have to know how to play spades. I said, I have to know how to play spades. I thought you were going to give me like a life lesson, something like that. Thank you, Killer Cam. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought he was about to impart something like because he started the he was a jokester. He was hilarious.
He gave you a life lesson.
He taught me how to play spades a
life lesson. That is very important.
I thought he was going to teach me, tell me something like, here I am, 17, about to turn 18, leaving home for the first time, going away from my parents, my family. And he's like, you're about to leave in a couple of months. And I really need to teach you, I need to tell you some things about life and about, what's important. And I'm like, okay. He tells me we're about to teach you how to play spades. So for the whole summer, that's what we did. We played spades. So, hey, shout out to you, Nitro. Look, make sure you go subscribe to Nitro, the Wonderkin Show. Awesome content, amazing breakdown of just the state of our team, where we are flawed, so many areas, how we need to get better. But you'll thank me later. Make sure you are subscribed to the Wonderkin Show. Yes, right.
And the Wonderkin Morning Show.
And the Wonderkin. There's so many times I want to just have the morning show on, but I don't always get to do that with my job. But the times that I'm there, when I'm able to catch the morning show, it's a great pick me up, great boost in the morning. So yes, definitely. Indeed. Wait, you can't play spades is a life lesson. I mean, here it is. I'm not gonna tell you how many years you can't play spades. Wait, Wonderkin Show. Wait.
First
Nitro.
Of all, listen.
Nitro.
No. First of all, it's a typo. He can play spades.
Okay.
Nitro. Don't ever say that out loud.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't
say
that out loud.
Look, Nitro, I'm from Florida. You're from Florida. We got to know. Wait a minute.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Nitro don't know how to play spades.
Ooh,
that's all good. It's all good. Yes. Happy birthday to Hendo. All month long, we're celebrating. We did have a super chat come through a little bit ago, and I missed it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there, Danity, at the annual. We're gonna have an annual LBHT cookout. Yes, we're gonna have a vegan cookout, and I'm gonna be right there at the spades table. You just come look for me. Where's Yolanda? She over there winning. Thank you, C-Mac, for the $5 donation. We appreciate the support. He writes, "Happy birthday, Hendo." And even Rakib gave you a shout out. He said, "Happy birthday, my guy."
I appreciate it. So you spoke about that. So we're still in discussion with the meetup. The guys want to do another Ravens tour of the facility. I am trying to coordinate that, but the way it's looking right now, they only got like Monday mornings and Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. So unless I can find something that kind of fits people's time schedule, then I don't know. We may have to do something else, but we do have to get things in order really quickly if we're going to do something this season, because the last one was such a blast. I enjoyed meeting everybody. Yeah. But I think me personally, maybe Vegas. I'm thinking maybe Vegas.
That sounds good. And Nitro, it's all good. If you don't play spades, when we have a meetup, make sure you're there. I will teach you. You play dominoes. I never really got the hang of bones, so I don't really play dominoes that well. Rakib, thank you for the $5 super chat donation. We appreciate you. He writes, just make sure y'all stream when the Bills win the Super Bowl in 15 years. We definitely will. Thank you for the donation. Family, we will see you all back very soon. Turn on your post notifications. Yes, I am. I'm in Florida. Yeah, I'm from Florida. And Nitro, so I moved to Baltimore 10 years ago, and I was in Baltimore for the last 10 years, but I'm from Florida, and I just moved back home 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago. So I'm back in Florida now.
Oh yeah. See, I was there. It was a good time.
Yes, the Iron was there. Yeah, he was at the meetup. The meetup, for those who came the last time, and you know what? We'll even give Rakib an invitation to the meetup, and we'll have an Odafe Owe jersey waiting for him when he arrives. But
and then we went to the bar. You didn't go to the bar with us afterwards.
No, I left a little early.
We went to a bar in Howard County.
Yeah, my bedtime. It's past my bedtime. I was like, I'm going home.
Play some pool. We had some fun, but it's definitely gonna be a good time. Danity did not go. Okay. Danity.
No, don't put business out. Don't air business out. Danity don't come for you.
Danity. No. I'm sorry. That was the stadium tour that Danity got us. I'm sorry. That was the stadium tour.
She was there at the stadium tour.
No. I'm saying that's when she got us. When she hit us with, I'm gonna check out later. I'm gonna call you. And we was like, all right, I'm gonna wait for you. We gonna wait. We going.
They didn't say, you know what, Danny? They didn't even tell me about it. I learned about it the next day. I was like, no, I learned about it. I think Hendo texted me later that night. It's like, oh yeah, well, nah, I'm on the other side of town. Oh, you're in Charlotte County. Okay, I'm in Orange County. So you're not too far from me. You're not too far.
Sorry, but yeah. We'll figure something out, and maybe not make it local, maybe make it more accessible to more people. But yeah, I think this weekend we'll have to discuss that to see, because we have to get plans in motion if we're going to do things for the summer.
We got to, so I can buy my ticket. Yes, I am Flagship. I'm in Central Florida. I'm right near Disney. I'm not too far. I'm in the Orange County.
Appreciate it. Actually, I might work on it today. Actually, after I leave here, I might work on finding a venue and see what we can do.
That's right, Ferris. Meetup, you say?
Ferris came from California.
Ferris did.
Ferris came from California.
If Ferris can come from California, I want to see all of you face in the place when we set up this next meetup.
Facts. We had giveaways. We had some fun. It's going to be a lot better this time because we actually know what we're doing. It was the first one, and it was, some things that we had to learn. It's going to be a lot better. And I have not forgotten. We're still doing a giveaway. I think Yolanda and I may come back what's tomorrow? No. Maybe Thursday or Friday to do the Visa gift card giveaway. If for some reason I couldn't pull up the comments to find out the names to put in, so we're still going to do that. And then we still have the Patreon members jersey giveaway.
So that means we'll be back on Thursday. You all heard it here first. We'll see you then. Nope, don't frown up. That's right, Imani. We're giving away that number 77 jersey. You don't want to miss it. You already know you won. What did you win, Rakib? Right. What did you win?
The gift of friendship. You're welcome. You're welcome. Community, togetherness. You're welcome. Can't get that. You can't get that in Bill's spaces. Too busy fighting. You're welcome.
Yeah. Great topic. We will talk about that in our next show. Ty said we need a how Yolanda and Hendo connected story. Definitely. You'll hear the story on Thursday when we're back. Oh, Ravens dog bark. Orlando is your home. Stop it. Oh my goodness. That's what's up. Now you got to message me. You got to find me on Twitter. Hendo, what's my handle on Twitter? Isn't it Yolanda ESQ 1908? Find me on because Hendo was not about to bail me out then. I was going to make me remember my own handle.
You need to know it.
I don't go on Twitter that often. But anyway,
that's sad. Because people are trying to contact you on Twitter.
I'm busy. Anyway, family.
Bumping your gums.
You're right about it. We'll see y'all soon. Make sure your post notifications are turned on. Subscribe to both of our channels, and we will talk with you real soon. Take care of yourselves, and you too, you, Rakib.
Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Listen, hashtag road to 10K. Yeah. On the road to 10K. So, hashtag I'm gonna be spreading around that because we try to get to 10K before the regular season starts. I hope you enjoy the content because that's all we try to do is entertain you guys. We ain't trying to demean people, and I think that's why we get a lot of people from other fan bases coming here because it's like we welcome everybody. We don't care about all that. Like we here to talk football, have some fun, learn some things. You know what I'm saying? Be happy. Like life. It's 2026.
Yeah, we're just here to cheer against the Bills. That's what we're here for. That's all we do. We just want to root against the Bills.
100%. We are here to root against the Bills.
I know, just Dallo, don't I? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write it on a sticky and then just like post it on my computer because I always ask him. And like one time he bailed me out, and then after that he's like, "I'm not doing that anymore." It's like, help me! You see me out here struggling. Anyway, much love to all of you. See you soon.
Yes, indeed. Thank you once again for a random Tuesday pop up. So appreciate y'all, and we will see you guys next time.
Take care, family.